I've never felt that before in my entire life. I am not going to answer this question. When I came out as a trans man, it wasn't butterfly and rainbows. Get some popcorn. That's what I should have done. What's up guys, this is Kevin here. I am officially like 2.5 weeks post-op of top surgery, and I filmed a Q&A for you guys like 3 days post-op or 4 days post-op of top surgery, and the amount of tangents that I went on was insane. I don't know if it was the pain meds or if it was just I suck at Q&As or because it was my very first Q&A. I was all over the place, alright? So I'm kind of embarrassed and I hated editing this video, so I was like, you know what? I'm literally completely done editing this video. I don't even know where I'm even bringing this topic up, and I literally have no idea what's even going on. It was awful, and I wish you guys could only see it, but I'm not showing it. So I'm actually going to go over the Q&As, and I'm actually going to answer the questions this time. And instead of going off on a whole completely different topic other than what you asked, if you're not yet following my Instagram account, you're definitely more than welcome to follow that to be a part of the next Q&A. If there's any questions you may want me to answer. This very first Q&A that I wanted to go over was a lot about the questions was just like me as an individual and my transitioning, and then there's a lot of other questions that I want to answer separately on another video that is about basically everything else that you guys asked. Let's just jump right into it. First question was, how old are you? I am about to be 30 years old, so my birthday is June 20th. I know, scary. Second off, I look like I'm, what, 22, 23? I get carded all the time, like still, to this day. A lot of times, everybody's just like, your ID's fake. And I'm like, but it's not. But I have a mind of like literally an 18-year-old. I'm a young person at heart. Next question was, what brought you to Columbus and where are you from? So I am originally from a town called Marietta, Ohio. It is like southeast downwards towards West Virginia. So I grew up on the borderline of like West Virginia and Ohio. Basically was just like all over Parkersburg, West Virginia, Williamstown, Belpre, Marietta, everywhere around there. It's just like a really small town, tiny. Everybody pretty much knew everybody back in the day when I lived there, and I hated it. What actually brought me to Columbus, I pretty much moved up here more so for like the opportunities. Definitely for the LGBTQ plus community as well, because people back in home, like, you know, smaller areas like that, they're very set in their ways. I didn't want to put myself in a situation of somebody that's not okay with my transitioning, and I feel like being surrounded more around it and seeing more people and being part of the LGBTQ plus community up here has been way more helpful in my eyes. The next question was, do you have a college degree? If so, what did you study? And then, did you go to college? And then some of you already knew that I was in school for cybersecurity, and then like asked how I got into it and so on and so forth with all those questions. I'm studying cybersecurity. I do not have a degree in it just yet, but I will after next semester, and then I finally graduate, and I'm super pumped about it. I'm so ready. So ready. How I got into it, during COVID, I was obviously, everybody was laid off. Nobody was allowed to go anywhere unless you were like mandated to go places. I saw my sister husband on his computer, you know, talking to somebody and writing in Python. I was watching him go through all that, and I was like, wow, that's so cool. And I'm like, what is it doing? And he's like, it's doing this and it's doing that. Literally, I can give you the answer, and I feel like a lot of you would be like, next, like, this is boring. So it's just a boring thing. It really is boring unless you're into cybersecurity, or unless you're into like Visual Studios, Python scripts. If any of you guys know what I'm talking about, you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. I just got very intrigued with it. Next question that I got, as what do you identify? I identify as a trans man. It's he, him. The reason why I personally love the idea of sharing with you guys, and obviously on the internet and on YouTube, that I am a trans man is more so for like educational purposes, to help out as much as I possibly can. The next question was, how has it been with the support of your family and your friends? The support of my family and my friends has been absolutely amazing. I've always, in a sense, you know, feel guilty about answering that question, because a lot of people in the LGBTQ plus community does not have a lot of family or friends that supports them, and it sucks, and it's definitely dumb in my eyes that family cannot just be there for somebody that they love, but unfortunately that is how it is. So having a family that supports me and friends that support me is amazing. I am very, very, very lucky that I have some people in my life that love me. and respects me and cares about me. Now, that being said, the next question was, how did your family take it? When I came out as a trans man, it wasn't butterfly and rainbows, okay? It was very difficult and very hard for my family, probably because of where I was raised and where I was born. There's not very many people like that. My family took it hard. My mom and my dad took it a little hard at the beginning of it, which is understandable. You know, you gotta go through things and work on things as you're going through it. And it took a lot for them to like fully understand. They took it the best that they possibly could. You know, do research, look it up, know the right things to ask, know the right things to say, know the right way to support. Of like, if you are a parent that has a son or daughter, you know, trans man or trans woman, definitely do the research of like, how do I respect my trans daughter, my trans son? What is it like? You know, how can I do this? What questions should I ask? What shouldn't I ask is huge. What's a respectful way to respect them? Anything along those lines. And if you're taking into consideration or you're taking in the option of doing that for yourself, not only are you helping yourself, but you're helping your child. My parents, they took it to the best of their ability, but they are 100% trying their hardest to understand even more now. And once they finally saw me, like, so to say, in my words, like blossom and finally become Cohen, get this top surgery, they started to like understand and fully come around. The next question was, what was your name your parents initially gave you as a child? First off, I wanted to bring this question in because I wanted to give you a good reason to why I am not going to answer this question. So we have a thing with what is called as a dead name. We don't tell anybody our dead name due to the fact that it's usually used as a weapon or like disrespect or degradingness. People on the internet, people can comment anything, say anything just to degrade us and just to be that person. And I don't want the option of, you know, being called by my dead name out of disrespect or just to degrade me as not being man enough. The last two questions that I'm going to go over is about Marissa. So if you are still around at this moment and still listening to all of this, you're about to get the tea. The one question was, how did Marissa react to you whenever you told her that you were a trans man? When I first met them, I was playing volleyball. They felt like the safest space that I've ever felt in my entire life. The amount of gay bars and everything along those lines that I've been to, it was not really the safest feeling. Playing volleyball and then playing against their team was like the funnest, safest, outgoing, loving, caring, everything. The whole team, like everybody, because they're very LGBTQ plus friendly. They were so open and so like understanding and everything. So the very first time I met Marissa, I literally introduced myself as, hey, I'm Cohen, I am a trans man. And it was just like, oh my gosh, like I'm Marissa, like that's awesome, like I love that. And I was just very intrigued with just Marissa as an individual. And the way that they carried themselves, the way that, you know, they acted, walked, talked, their personality, their bubbliness, you know, the whole 9 yards of just who they are. I didn't know Marissa before I met them. I don't know what it was, if it was just like how they acted, like just drew me to them. We were playing volleyball and I remember like the very first game that we played was against them. And I kept finding myself like after hitting the ball, like I would look at them and then the ball would get hit back and I'd try to get back in the zone and then I'll hit the ball again. And then, you know, so it was just everything else. And then sitting down and talking and being very personable and very like outgoing, outspoken and understanding and respected was absolutely amazing. And I've never felt that before in my entire life. Now, and I love this one. This is my favorite. How did you know Marissa was the one? Let's go back. It was our second date. Okay, second date. I was like, let's go to a bar and have a couple of drinks, hang out, talk like we normally do. And this bar had like live music, so I was super pumped. Now, I probably should have realized or like looked up what type of like people would typically go to this bar. You're like, oh, Cohen, where is this going? We were having some margaritas at a picnic table. It was like a fire, some live music. It was super sweet. It was awesome. I was having a blast. And we were sitting across each other. And this older lady walks up. And immediately it was just like, hey, girls, right? And Marissa immediately was just like, no, he, him. The girl was like, oh, he? And Marissa was like, yes. And I was like, yeah. And if you guys know where this is going, yeah, get some popcorn. That's what I should have got some popcorn at this rate. Marissa immediately just came back with just like, you know, next time, you know, definitely educate yourself on, you know, maybe asking like, hey, what's your pronouns? Like, is it he, him, she, her? Like, I just want to make sure that I respect you. Or, you know, anything along those lines would have been better. I don't know if like the girls, she said something and then Marissa was like, yeah, it's you know, it's not hard. It's just, you know, researching Google. Like, if I don't know if this is a man or a woman, what should I ask? Or how should I ask this? I'm not gonna lie to you, like I was embarrassed for Marissa because I have past trauma from this idea and from this, like if I get gendered. And I was embarrassed for Marissa, but then when I looked at Marissa, it was immediately like, you're not gonna disrespect him. And my whole entire life, that's all I've ever wanted was somebody to just protect me, respect me, and be there for me. And a lot of individuals, that's all they've ever wanted. They just want to be seen, noticed, heard, and respected. And for Marissa to be like, no, immediately, like he, him, maybe you should educate yourself before walking up and be like, you know, be disrespectful. Because it's disrespectful to me for you to do that. And I've never had that. I knew Marissa was the one because of the respect, the protection, the love, the careness. And this was like the second date. Never in my entire life have I ever been respected like that. You know, after that girl walked up and was like, her, right? Like, her girls? And I was like, no. And I looked at Marissa and I felt bad. Like, but when I did that, she immediately like picked me up and was just like, no. The only thing I've ever wanted in my entire life was to not be a secret, was to be looked at as like, that's my man. Like, I love him and I want to be with him and I'm going to respect him and I'm going to be there for him. And Marissa did just that. They did nothing but respect me, protect me. And from that moment on, I probably could have cried for weeks after that. I've just fallen head over heels. I continue to fall in love even more every single day. I'm very lucky and I'm very happy, and I could not have expected anybody better to come into my life. The amount of times that I have wished on just having somebody that would just see me for who I am as an individual and not judge me. Marissa has done just that. And I hope everybody finds their Marissa. Like, I hope that everybody is able to find that individual that just pumps them up, respects them, protects them, loves them. Like, everything that you could possibly think about, that best friendship and a relationship all at the same time. The communication, the understanding, the respect. It's the best thing that's ever happened to my life. That is it for the Q&As today. I hope I didn't go on too much of a tangent as I'm gonna be freaking editing this video. Like I said before, if you guys do not follow my Instagram account, you're more than welcome to do that. I'm going to have another Q&A that's just going to be about everything else. I know I got a lot of questions about Becky the Bus. I got a lot of questions about Naya. And then there's some more questions that I'm going to be answering about Marissa and I and the doggos. So definitely hit that subscribe button down below if you want to continue to still follow along my journey. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.